21st year of Alumni Association getting together. In 1980, just to explain one thing, we only had a tea because we got organized a little bit late. The tea, as it has been most of the years, was at the Alice T. Minor Colonial Collection. Now, after everybody gets their seat, we will start our program with a Pledge of Allegiance, and we would ask John West of the class of 1940 to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. John West. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Maybe we remain standing for a second. If we could have Matt McQuinney, also of the class of 1940.
60 years.
60 years. And he's not going to let you forget it either. I'm going to tell him what you're up here for. I'm going to tell him what you're up here for. Mac is going to give the invocation. Okay?
Dear Lord, look down upon us as we all once again join together to rejoice in our heritage. Let us never forget to be thankful for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. Loving family, friends, our work, our leisure time, good health, and hope. The opportunities you give to us all. May the class of 2000 be blessed with opportunity. May we all never forget to honor our past, our present, and our future. Thank you for allowing all of us to join in the fellowship, remembering those who cannot be here. We will now bless this food we are about to receive, and bless it to our youth. In Jesus' name, amen.
If we just remain standing just for a second, it'll only take a minute. In the past year, our organization has lost 18 alumnus. It's quite high. So I'm just going to take a second to read it. Maybe we can remember them, remember the ones that can't be with us. Ruth Gordon Fisher, the class of 1926. Roland LeBlanc, the class of 1926. Eveline Brothers, the class of 1930. Elizabeth West Gregoire, 1932. Georgiana West Anderson, 1933. Ruth Siemens Rada, 1937. Florence Parrott Burnell, 1937. Anna Chisholm McCrae, 1944. Ben Sanger, 1944. Sarah McCullough Lehman, 1949. Melford Parrott, 1951. Roberta Reeves Barcombe, 1960. Donna Baker Montgomery, 1970. Brian Ledoux, 1975. Nancy Dupree Lewis, 1983. Jamie Reeves, 1990. Nicholas Trombley, 1998. And one that just passed away a week ago, Margaret Gay Stark. So if we could just remember them in our thought this evening, because a lot of these people have been with us in the past. Thank you. I believe that at this time we are ready to have our dinner, so we can sit down. We are going to start with probably the senior honor table. The class that is, the table that is reserved for the 1920s and 1930s. At that table is Mary White DeGregory. Now you will start the food line, Mrs. DeGregory. You and Mrs. Duquette. Okay? Right behind them we will have the 50-year graduating class, and then we are going to go with the head table with our guests, and we go right down and around after that. So, Mrs. DeGregory, you can start the program. Class of the 50-year class, come right up.
They want us to walk a couple houses during one morning, so.
I see Mr. McQueen waving his hand out there, so I guess we got to start showing the road. How about a hand for George and Wilbur for the music they provided us? I think they're great. They're going to be back a little later. Got one note here. I got a number of notes, but what did you think of our matched pair? The wine tenders. Would you please stand up? The wine tenders, please stand up. Turn around and look, turn around and look at the camera. Hey, look at the camera. Now, these are known as the K Demons. One of them is my son-in-law. If you can guess which one it is, you get a weekend free at Grey Gable. Anybody want to guess? Now, you notice this evening they were standing there, but every 2-3 minutes they change sides. They just get floating back and forth. A great thing that is missing this evening from this banquet, and I'm sure a lot of people have noticed it, is Mrs. St. Maxon. Mrs. St. Maxon has attended every function that the Alumni Association has had since 1980. I hear that she is in Meadowbrook Nursing Home. She's convalescing from a fracture, a hip or leg fracture where she fell here a while back. So I thought we would run that by. She was a 1921 graduate. We all miss her, but she'll be back next year. It's time, alumni, alums. Fred says alums. If you can't say alumnus or alumni and get it right, you say alums. Yeah. Some alums have brought guests this evening. If you brought guests and you're an alums, would you stand up and introduce your guests, please? Yes, Jake.
I have Bob and Priscilla Rathbun, former faculty, CCRS, so I'd like them to stand up.
Well, please stand up. A lot of us know who they are, but many of the younger alums here have had Mrs. Rathbun, and many of the, well, the other bracket, I guess, my bracket, have had Mr. Rathbun as an industrial art teacher. There are some other guests here. Mr. McLean, your wife. Class of... Now, I want to tell you something about Mr. McLean. Now, he looks pretty... You're going to enjoy this, Mr. McLean. I was over at his house about a week ago. I was convincing about something, but I forget what it was anyway. And he said, "Did you ever see the bed I made?" I said, "No, I never saw the bed you made." Come with me. He says, "I made this when I was 18 years old in school." Now, what would an 18-year-old boy be making a double bed for? 60! He was doing it at 60. He made a double bed at 16 years old.
I just looked up. I knew what was ahead.
You knew what you were doing, right?
Should have made a king size.
And they say the youngsters are well educated today, huh? This is 60 years old, 62, 64 years ago, making a double bed. Doesn't seem to work out all right anyway. We have some other alums that have brought guests. Oh, okay.
Brought Joan Duquette.
Joan Duquette. Okay, also while this young lady is standing, she is my guest this evening. This is Mary White DeGregory, class of 1930. Mrs. DeGregory. And the people that know the DeGregory name, let me see, 1955 or so, I worked for her husband, Carmen DeGregory, when I was about 19 years old. I learned how to do things right, and I learned a lot of respect for that man. Great to have you here. Now there are also, I think there's some other guests here. Donald?
I'm going to fill in. I don't know where my wife went, but she was very kind enough to bring the Brindlers with her, Janet and George. And George has one of the students here with him tonight, my son Jeff.
Very good. Very good. It just continues. We have a number of generations.
I also remember these guys right here. I can tell the difference.
Can you? Which one's my son-in-law? No, the other one. No, no.
Kevin and Keith.
No, you got that backwards.
What?
No, the other one. The other one. See, Jill sits right between them, so you can't tell her.
Kevin?
You're confused now, aren't you?
You gotta write the second time. You gotta write the second time. 2 laps. Around the gym.
I'll tell you, certain things they remember, don't they? Huh? The Alumni Association has some guests this evening. Father Gordon of Sacred Heart Church. Please stand, Father, for the one guest. Jerry and Mary Blair. Jerry has been the interim superintendent, and I hear he's going to be with us for a few more years. Jerry and Mary Blair. Also, we have another honored guest, Fred Smith. They'll all laugh in a minute. Stand up, Mr. Smith. No, stand up again. Stand up. You're younger than I am. Mr. Smith is the curator of the Alice T. Minor Colonial Collection. Well, I'm not done with this. Stand up. We want to thank him for all his help in putting on the tea at the museum. It's great to have someone we can depend on. Also, Fred very generously volunteered his time. You'll probably get there yet. But he volunteered his time to be proofreader of the alumni newsletter. He did that without even having to be asked. I mean, which is very nice. We like people that do that. Also, stand up, stand up, stand up. Well, I'm not done with you. You said, okay. You know, years ago in Chazy, we had Helen Darby, Marcel Carpenter, Ken Boutte. If you wanted to know anything that was going on in town, all you had to do was see these people. We have at this point in time another man that has volunteered his time, Fred Smith. If you want to know anything that's going on in Chazy, you can contact Fred Smith. Now, his office hours are whenever Stewart's is open. When you want to see Fred, I think it's the window on the south end of Stewart's. That way he gets a better view of what is going on in Chazy. You can contact him there. He has a, what are these, computer.com, something or other, Fred Smith, expert on Chazy business. You'll have to look that up in your computers. So anyway, Fred, we want to thank you for all the time you have volunteered to the village of Chazy. It's all right, Jerry Blair, we know you better, you'll be up here too.
May not be here that long.
Well, look at you. At this time, we would like to introduce the association officers. The executive director is a fellow that used to be about 6 foot tall and had dark hair. Well, he's shrunk quite a bit, his hair is white, and he's talking to you tonight. Class of 54. Our president is Donald Bucket Trombley, class of 56. Duck, Bucket. Bucket and I go back a long ways. We both pitched hay for Joe Grigworth when we were real young. Our vice president, Ann Larmy Smith. Our secretary is Kathy Munson Devins. She is not here this evening because her son graduated last night from CCRS and they are having a party at their house. She's class of 73. Our treasurer, Margaret Maggie Ryan, class of 79. Maggie is my older sister's daughter. This time I'm going to get my card going. We introduce the classes. We start with the 50-year class and go in 5-year increments. So the 20 to 1930 years, would they please stand? Mrs. DeGregory. And Shirley Ducharme. Oh my God, forget you one. Okay. $35 to $40. There we go. That's us. This is a 60-year class, a good representation of 60-year class. And Helen Waitman also. 45 to 50. Oh, Mr. Cody, hey! Lonesome, huh? Okay, 55s. 60. 65. 63, there you go. 70. 70s to 75. Oh, the Cody family again. In the 80s to 85. Mr. Brothers, you and that? Hey, hang right up. Timmy Brothers. 85 to 90. Mr. Spackle, Miss Spackle. 90 to 95. They'll be here in about 20 years. I think we have a member from the 2000 year class. Mr. Ford. I went from 50 to 55. Well, stand up, please. Oh my God. Okay. When you get I miss anybody else? They're all here. At this time, we would like to present the 50-year class. Gerard Dupree, the president of the 50-year class, will introduce his class. And we'd like to ask you, as you come up and you name them off, stay up here, so if someone wants to take a picture, only take a second, and have the pictures taken. Gerard.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for being here and honoring the class of 1950. Also like to thank the Alumni Association members for a very nice banquet. Also Guma's Restaurant, a good meal. I'd like to mention that this year's booklet is dedicated to the memory of our class member John Warren Dupree, who died in 1992. Special thanks to Nancy, Aileen, and Ronnie, who put in the booklet together. They did a good job. Now, the members of the class of 1950. Harriet A. Keith Provost. Madeline Blair Favreau. Put my store windows on there. Geraldine Brothers Robinson. Ronald G. Brown. Norman J. Brown. Those two fellas are the only ones responsible for a teacher quitting. Betty Harvey Pomerton. Elizabeth Lapierre O'Hara. Carl Lapierre. Lita LaPlante Leclerc. Jean Niles Walters. Lorna Barber Parra. Aileen Cacho Fissette. Nancy Trombley Leclerc. Out of the 16 members who are still with us, only 2 are missing. Helen Sanger-Rouget and Lucille Gay Wilson. This is the class of 1950.
You gotta squeeze in together.
You want to do this to us? Come on, man. Squeeze in here. Take a shot.
Get together here.
Hold on, Lena.
Madonna Bertrand said they signed any pictures if you like.
Thank you, Gerard, and the class of 1950. And the class of 1950, boy, they really like that man. Ron Brown is his 50th year. If she would have come to the doing tonight, his mother, Bernadine Poisson Brown, is 75 years. She graduated. But she doesn't like recognition, so she wouldn't come. So I'm going to announce her anyway. Also, he has 2 daughters here this evening. Three. Oh my gosh, cricket, I'm sorry. His 3 daughters are here this evening. And one, his oldest daughter, Stephanie Brown Maybar, is 24 years out of school. So that's quite an accomplishment. Now, if we think back when we went to school at the time when I was there, we remember our principals, some of the teachers we remember, some of them we didn't. But if we think, there were probably 2 gentlemen at the school when we went that we have never forgotten about. And one, his daughter is here this evening in the 50-year class, and his son is, the other one, his son is here. Now, I'm sure in our time when we went, we all remember Frank Harvey. Betty Conrail Harvey. Your daughter is here. Also, another gentleman. You can stand up again. They didn't see you. Stand up. Everybody remembers Frank Harvey. If you went to school when he was there, you may have forgotten your teachers, you may have forgotten your principals, but you did not forget Frank Harvey. Another gentleman that I think everybody loved equally as much was Henry Brown. His son, Norm Brown. Now, I think probably going to school, I think of those 2 gentlemen, as much as we ever thought of any teacher, any principal, that they both made a lasting memory for us. At this time, last night at the school, the Alumni Association gave 4 $1,000 scholarships. Now that's pretty darn good for our little grassroots outfit. The first couple of years we didn't get anything, then maybe the 3rd or 4th year we gave a $250 scholarship. We thought we had the world by the tail. We were able to give some youngster over there some money. Last year we gave I think over $3,000. This year we gave 4 $1,000 scholarships. And at this time I want to thank everybody that is responsible, that has been generously giving to our Alumni Scholarship Fund. It's worked out great. The youngsters that were presented these scholarships last night were Katie Mulligan. Her mother is Barbara Rice Mulligan, class of 1969. Frank Cody. His father, Chris Cody, 1974. And Frank is maybe the 3rd, or he's at least the 3rd generation of his family. Matt Devens. The mother is Kathy Munson Devens, class of 73, and she's not here because they're having a party this evening. Another one is Lori Beggs. Father was James Beggs, class of 76. And also, last night at school, my facts are pretty close here, there was close to $250,000 worth of awards and scholarships given at our little Chazy Central Rural School. That's pretty darn good. I certainly can't mention all of the awards that were given. It's a list a mile long. Katie Mulligan, I'm just going to list the ones that got our alumni. When Katie Mulligan got 5 awards, Matt Devins 6, Laurie Beggs 4, Frank Cody 8. Also, Frank Cody got a very good scholarship to Clarkson University. He can be very proud. And at this time, Frank Cody would like to come up and address the group. Frank?
I just want to say thank you to the Alumni Association for their kindness. Your gratitude is greatly appreciated, and I'd like to say thank you for helping my educational dreams possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Now you go back to the party. There were many other students that got many, many awards, which, you know, it's just don't take too long to mention them. At this time, we have a couple of alumni awards to be given. We have an Alumni Service Award. Donald Bucket Trombley, our president, will present the Alumni Service Award.
I got all I want. This is an award. We don't necessarily give this out every year. It's a service award to an organization that is well-deserving. They sponsor a lot of things in the community. They contribute a lot of money to the community. And the organization is the Chazy Lions Club. And it just so happens tonight that we have a charter member with us. And he's also a 50-year member. Ronnie, would you come up here, please? While Ronnie's coming up, there's so many things here I could go through, but just recently they held a bike-a-thon for St. Jude's Hospital. They've been doing this for 10 or 12 years, Dick, something like that. And they've been averaging between $3,000 and $4,000 per year, which is given to St. Jude's Hospital. And they also contribute to the Alumni Association for the scholarships and to eyesight. And there's a list here for Melvin Jones Fellowship. These are given out to individual Lions. They cost the Lions Club $1,000, which goes for eyesight. And they've given out since 1993 through 99, they have given out 7 of these to individual Lions deserving of them. And we also sponsor Winter Weekend, which a lot of kids here tonight are familiar with. We've been doing that for, should we tell them, Ronnie? 30? Well over 30 years we've been doing this. And Christmas party for the younger kids, in which the fellow with the white beard comes down from the north. And I think Richard can tell us about him. With the slate, right? Oh, yeah. And one of our other big events is Old Home Day. This started out as a Chamber of Commerce event with a box lunch and that type of thing. Then after the first year, we added the King and Queen to it. And the fire department took it over. Then it got to be too big for the fire department. And the Lions Club stepped in. So the Lions Club has been sponsoring this now for a number of years. And I noticed, according to the list here, we have several of our kings and queens with us. So would they stand? And Mac and Esther, Marie and So on behalf of the Alumni Association, Ronnie, is that this to you? The Lions Club? When did you start? You organized it? They started in '56. That was a joyful year.
Already congratulated.
So don't forget, our next big event is the last Sunday in July. It's always the same date. It'll be our Old Home Day event, which you can come and meet everybody. Just down there, meet your friends. All the organizations get involved, and all the funds that they raise that day are their funds. They do not share them with anybody else. And most of it all goes back to the community, I might add. Thank you.
Thank you, Bucket. Thank you, Ronnie, for accepting the recognition of the Chazy Lions Club. We have another award, the Alumnus of the Year Award. Nancy Powers Vesco, class of '77. Everybody knows Nancy. She's just like a shining star in a bright sky. That's our Nancy, that's right.
This year, the Alumni Association is presenting the Alumni of the Year Award to a member of the class of 1935. She has dedicated a lot of time as treasurer to the association, and we really appreciate her many years of loyal service. It is because of her tight grip on our purse strings we have been able to continue with scholarships, newsletters, and banquets. Now I present Shirley Ducharme as the Alumnus of the Year.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Shirley. Anybody's going to control your money, safe hands with Shirley Ducharme. I just got a few quick notes here. We hear that this year it is the 60th wedding anniversary of Margaret LeBaire and Quayle Cornell. 60 years. Please stand. Got a few facts. Not many, just a few. I can tell when he looks. You know, I've gone back a long time. From 1918 to the year 2000, according to our town historian, Marie Larmy Bennett, class of 1944, there have been 2,185 graduates from Chazy Central Rural School. Now, by some big areas, that's not an awful lot, but from Chazy, that's very good. The first year, in 1918, there were only 2 graduates. The largest year, when did you graduate, Joe?
77.
1977, well, my daughter Jill graduated. You had 60,
A lot of us here.
or the number, what did you have, 60 some odd?
63.
63 or so. A lot of times, it averages a lot of times between 30. In my era, it was 20, 21, 19, 18, along in there. But anyway, 2,185 graduates. We have on record in our alumni files 1,832 active names on record. We send out over 1,700 newsletters. We do get some of them back. I guess we really can't help that. We send to the addresses that we have. Some people help us, but we can't go out to 1,700 people. So if you know someone, get in touch. The newsletter, Nancy Powers Vesco and Rhonda Trombley O'Hagan have done the newsletter the last couple of years. The mailing list has been updated and records kept by Jill West Beeman. She has in her computer all of the lists. The newsletter, of course, has to be printed. And my other daughter, Laurie West Miller, and my wife, Nyla, have printed the newsletter for a number of years. We also have over at Chazy, which we're probably very fortunate to have in our little community, we have an organization called the Chazy Music Theater. It's under the direction of Frank Langer. It wouldn't be possible at all unless we had the cooperation of the school facilities and the school directors. We thank our superintendents the past number of years for all the help they've given us. They've had 11 productions. Every one has been a success. Probably the one this year, which one of the most difficult to do, was probably one of the biggest successes our little group has had. It varies from 70 to 100 people on stage and 50, 60 people backstage and sets, props, and whatever has to take place. I just touching a few more facts here. We were very fortunate this year. Our girls varsity soccer won the Section 7 championships. They won 18 games, tied 1, and lost 1. The boys varsity are second in the state in their area. They played in Poughkeepsie. Their record is 19 wins, 2 tied, and 2 lost. And that's pretty doggone good for our little hamlet of Chazy to turn out 2 winning teams, girls and boys. Does anyone remember Marion Merrill Dunn? Do you? The information I have is that some money has come from her and it has been used to buy draperies and curtains on the stage. There was a renovation project going on and some of her money that she donated to the school was used for that purpose. Just one other thing, there's some green papers on the back called the Heritage Brick Walk, the PTO. You can buy bricks for an area, put your name in, or your lover's name, or somebody else's. I think we ought to, Guma's Restaurant, can somebody go to the door and just ask them to come out? Now, how was your meal this evening? Now, I don't know if you've been to the setup for these banquets, but nothing goes by Betty Green. I'll tell you, things are scrutinized pretty well. And one remark Betty had when she came in, that man knows how to put tablecloths on. Jerry, Carolyn, and Guma. Thank you. George, I think we are ready to, oh no, I'm sorry, Bucket. You have some more words?
No, you've pretty well covered it.
He has Bucket always has words.
No, just to make sure that if anybody knows a classmate or whatever, get their addresses into us so we can update our files so we don't get the returns. And whenever someone deceased or something, let us know that too, because we do not always get them 100%. We try to, but once in a while we miss. And one thing, I forgot when I was doing the Lions Club service board, Dick kept reminding us how small our school is. The Chazy Lions Club, we're set up in districts. We're in District 20W. We are the largest club in that district, next being Watertown, to give you an idea how large our club is. And also, other than Ronnie Brown here tonight, we have Norm Brown, who's the Lions Club member, Dick West, Jeff Green, myself. Am I missing anybody? And we're all alumnus. But anyway, going back to the association, if you have any complaints, call Dick. Complaints, go to Dick. Other encouragements, just automatically mail it to the Chazy Alumni Association, and I'm sure they'll get it.
If Bucket delivers mail, they're going to get it.
I'll guarantee you they will. And I'll make sure Dick gets the points. Thank you. I hope you've had a good evening. And if you have any suggestions, write them down on a piece of paper and leave them before you leave. You don't have to sign them. Whatever, anything that we can do to make the organization just a little bit better. I thank you. Drive carefully. Good night. I'm done. Dick wants to say.
Not yet.
I'd like to have Jerry Blair come up. He has a little information. It'll take us a second. Thank you.
If you need to contact the school, we have an email address for computer buffs. If you can get on a search engine on the computer and just look up Chazy School, we will come up on the web page, and we have a lot of information about the school on that page. We are also looking for pictures of previous classes. What we would like to create is an alumni wall in the school where we have pictures that would go back as far back as we can of classes. If you have a class picture, if you know someone that has class pictures, we would like a copy of that. We will make copies, give you back your original, but we would like to create this alumni wall outside of the main office so that it will be a focal point of the school coming in. Had one in Lake Placid, and we had classes from the mid-1800s all the way up. And we took a senior picture every year and hung it on the wall. So we would like to create that. If you can help us along that line, we would appreciate it. Look us up on the web page, and we'll give you information about the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. George and Wilbur, it is time for us to move on with our evening. Pretty good, aren't they? Before you sit down, George. Okay, thank you. Okay, before you sit down, come up here. George Schnaub, come up here. You're not getting away. George has been with us. You can have him back. Don't talk more than that. George has been with us for many years. Provided us with some beautiful music, and his friend Wilbur. So we have a little presentation for George and company. The Alumni Association of Chazy Central Rural School is presenting to George Schnaub and Company, Honorary Alumnus, Alumni Association of Chazy Central Rural School, the year 2000. George, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a tradition. It's one we love to hold on to. We don't have the words. We should all know them. minutes just sitting. Our wine stewards are going to report to their posts. The Stereo Twins. You're on duty. And thank you to George and Wilbur.
This is Calvin Castan. We're at Moores Elementary School in beautiful downtown Moores. June 26th in the year 2000. We're here for local Youth Commission Pony League softball featuring Moores. And they have a few imports from the Champlain-Rouse's Point area. And their opponents, Altona. And I'm not sure if Altona has any imports, but we are all set. Ralph Graves Jr. is coaching for the Altona team. Joe Martineau Jr. coaching for the Moores contingency. No, contingent. Whatever they are. He's coaching the team.
Don't make a habit out of it.
For Moores, Katrina Lopez is pitching. Her battery mate is Jenna Martineau. At first base is Christy Boas. Second baseman is Sierra Venn. Shortstop is Amanda Mavor. And at third base, it's Amber LaValle. In the outfield, there's Jess Gadway out there, Karen Acero, Allison Weiss, and Alicia Kimball. The non-starters include Nicole Perry, Brittany Supernaw, Katie Houle, and Amanda Tremblay. Dean Supernaw will be calling the balls and strikes. We have an 8 o'clock game in Plattsburgh, so we're hoping to get this show on the road here. Lisa Graves, the Altona shortstop, will lead off. Pony League softball. Lopez on the rubber. Looks like the pitching rubber is a little bit to the left, but it looks like they've also moved the plate over a bit, so they may have just redecorated the field a little bit to get rid of the bare spots. Strike two called. Excuse me, the first one was called. That was a swing and a miss. I do know the difference. 0-2 the count. 0-2 pitch is swung on a miss. Strike three. So Graves goes down, swinging. And it brings up Tiffany Rock, the third baseman. Lopez delivers. Just misses. Just missed. 2-0.
Start with one.
3-0. All four, low and away. So Rock will get the free pass, and it'll bring up Sheena Graves, the catcher. Temperature in the mid to upper 80s today with humidity, but there's a little bit of a breeze, so it helps. Graves. Like the looks of that one. Like a batter that gets up there and swings away. Hit the ball. That's a little too high. 1-1. Looks like Ron Gadway will be humping on the bases. Dean Supernaw behind the plate. There's a strike. Ralph Graves coaching at third, and I don't know, that looked like a little bit like Randy. No, Randy's over there. Not sure who's coaching at first base. Oh, that's Graves. I'm sorry, it's the other Graves here. So we got Graves at first and Graves coaching at third. Boas says, I got it, and by golly, she was right.
Good job.
And apparently Rock stole the base there and we weren't looking. Madonna Bertrand is the second baseman, and she's at the plate now with 2 outs and a runner at second. Pitch from Lopez. Swings at a high one, strike one.
Mama dinner! That's what it was. Go, Tootie. Tootie the Looney. Hold it.
Third, and she'll be in standing up. Oh, rocks at third. 2 outs, runner at third base. Top of the first inning, Pony softball. It's high.
Go, Madonna. Stupid lamb picked up.
And Lopez delivers. 3-1. Becky Bertrand on deck. That's high, ball 4. So Madonna Bertrand will go to first. We'll have runners at the corners. Then we'll bring up Becky Bertrand. 2 outs. Bertrand, the first baseman. Play at the plate. She's going to be safe.
Yes, you gotta flies, you knucklehead. Why?
Don't overthrow.
I do it.
No strike.
Hard hit to second. Ben knocks it down. Actually, does more than knock it down. She fielded it cleanly. Over to Boas for the out. 1 run across for Altona. After 1/2 inning, it's Altona 1 and Moores coming to bat here on Hometown Cable. A look at the Altona defense. Pitching is Haley Trombley. Her battery mate is Sheena Graves. First baseman is Becky Bertrand. Second baseman Madonna Bertrand. At shortstop, Lisa Graves, and at third base, Tiffany Rock. In the outfield, there's Crystal Graves, Missy Brassard, Renee Minkler, and Lynn Graves. Non-starter is Barbie Perrier. Barbie Perrier. Allison Weiss will lead it off for Moores. Weiss at the plate. And a pitch. Ooh, just missed. Ball 1. To the left side. Rock at third. Grabs it. We have 1 down. 1-0. Altona leading. Now Jessica Gadway, the left fielder, will step in. And a pitch from Trombley's ball. Ball 2. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. And Joe Martineau coaching at third base. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Ball 4. So we have a base runner as Gadway goes to first base, and it brings up